If you wish to work at my company, you must apply yourself. Elizabeth III will not have me hiring rabble. Oh, but I mentioned her a bit too soon. You are to take over as my secretary, am I right? I suppose I can't argue with that. But my question for you is, why did you choose my company? I see you've got an impressive resume of working with many other talented companies, very similar to mine. But why did you choose mine in particular? Yes, I see. So you've got a head on your shoulders, I'll give you that. But we still haven't seen if you're prudent enough. You must fill the shoes of someone that is very good at what they do. Assistant King. She and I had creative differences for a long time, to the point where I would say we were downright enemies. But I appreciated her work. That time drew to its end because of what happened 6 months ago. The sooner you understand not to ask questions, the sooner you'll get along well here. It is not my place to tell you how to do your job, but if you are to work with me, you will do things according to what I expect. I will not babysit you, nor will I make you have to do anything in particular that is without the boundaries. We are simply employer and employee. But it would help if your voice wouldn't be as annoying as the last one. Yes, I realize I can be quite curt, but this is only because business is something of an important matter. We must do things in an efficient manner if we are to be expected to perform in the industry that my company is. It is nothing personal, unless you do something to harm Elizabeth III, in which case I will do whatever I can to take you down. You will not escape. Though I trust you don't need me to explain to you why. There's nothing more important than Elizabeth III to me in this world. There's no more beautiful, acute a being. And I will judge you severely if you act out of line. We go with Christian morals and boundaries here, though I don't find myself extravagant on their application. I only mention it in that there is so very little that I will tolerate beyond work ethic. If you wish to horse around or waste my time, then you best walk out that door before things get messy. Yes, indeed, you've passed the interviews with flying colors, but that's not what we're questioning here. I am here to be honest with you. Nothing more, nothing less. You will be exactly as I ask, and we won't have a problem. I don't expect you to understand everything right away, but my patience, I warn you, is somewhat thin. After the falling out I had with Assistant King, things have not been the same. The group of friends that I had has all but disbanded in light of a terrible event. But I will not mix personal business with work, and I expect much the same with you. There is one exception to that rule, and that is if you wish to take care of Elizabeth III with me, I may occasionally trust you if you gain such adequacies that I find you worthy. if you have an appreciation for her in all of her glory, then maybe our relationship can take the next level beyond that of mere acquaintances and colleagues. You interest me on a base level about as much as a new outfit for Elizabeth III. I do not like to put her in outfits, but I do allow her to choose her own. But we're getting off track. I don't have time to waste, so for now I need you to schedule some appointments for me. I will give you a sheet of things that I need done, and you will do them before the day's end. If you can do the extra part, it's considered extra credit, then I might even pay you extra. Make no mistake, my dear assistant. There is rewards to doing well here. I will make it worth your while, on many different fronts. Those who are good to me are very much appreciated, and I think you can understand why. Good help is so far and few between in this world. And if your resume is anything to go off of, you are quite good help and capable on your own. Things I look forward to witnessing on a personal level. But putting that aside, do you like cats? It's somewhat of a belated introduction, but I thought it only fair that I introduce you to my one and only precious Elizabeth III. She does so like to meet new people. She has such a big heart, but I keep telling her she needs to be wary of those who have not earned my trust. Consider this an honor. You can meet one of the best beings in this world. Is she not the ideal of perfection, the utmost epitome of glory, cuteness, dignifying grace? So many qualifying words. It warms my heart and inspires me. The most glorious cat in the world, my very own, precious Elizabeth III. If you must know, her name is that because no particular reason that I'm going to say anyways. Maybe someday we'll go into it more, but for now, just accept the glory that you're able to witness her in person. Most would have to pay a hefty fee just to witness her, especially after the betrayal of that disgusting hacker. How he would defile her, whisper uncouth things in her ears. What a terrible influence he was. He was useful as a person, but not someone who I'd trust with my dear Elizabeth. Not now, not ever. That is nothing to say that I wouldn't trust anyone. There was someone a ways back who I trusted dearly with her, but it's certainly not an average occurrence that brings someone to that level. Why, yes, I'm very passionate about Elizabeth III, for many reasons, but it is her perfection that I seek the most. If you admire her as well, and have the sophisticated taste that I do, then you have been one step closer to being more than just a colleague, maybe someone I can tolerate. Maybe even more if you play your cards right. But I'm not in any hurry to get to know you that way. And Elizabeth III, while she likes you, is not permitted to see you by herself. I must protect her, just in case you have ill intent and are secretly from my rival companies, trying to sabotage me. I don't think you'd do that. I don't think anyone would. That would result in them being quite adequately put out of business. I would see to it that you never work in any of these places of high business ever again, and I would also see to it that you suffer as much as Elizabeth did, no matter what that means. Keep that in mind. No, my dear assistant, I do not make threats, just like I don't make promises I cannot keep. I am merely telling you this as a warning so you know what not to do, and how to accomplish your job as best as you can. I expect the best from my employees, you as well as everyone in my company. And when we are off hours, you can expect limited conversation with me. It is nothing personal, but is something of a truth that those of us who work in high business have very little time to ourselves, and besides, time with you would mean time away from Elizabeth III. Unless, of course, you visit me in my quarters after work. We could possibly work something out, since Elizabeth III may request you. Why would you ask something like that? Elizabeth III requests those she likes. You cannot understand her, only I can. But that's all right. I am her most precious person. Did you perhaps misunderstand prior? Yes, I see that you are passionate about her, and I do so appreciate that. But it is something that you'll have to earn, after I know I can trust you. There is no two ways and no compromise about this. I expect the documents to be on my desk by the morning. Now, my dear assistant, it was nice meeting you, and welcome to my company. I will expect great things from you, and make sure that you get rest so that your performance does not suffer. The last thing I want is for you to work yourself to the point where you can't any longer. That is painfully inefficient. And I trust that you won't make the mistake of my prior assistant. Why would you ask about Assistant Kane? She was much the same as you at first. We got along on somewhat of a common ground. But then the work became too much for her. It's no offense to her as a person, but we have creative differences that I mentioned before. You can take that as however you wish, but it doesn't change the fact. Provided we don't have too much butting of heads, you'll be better than her by a landslide. Fortunately for you, I've already dealt with much loss. Therefore, I don't expect you to have quite so much negative influence like she did. Yes, she was a good person, but she was not at all ready for what she did. Ready for her life. That I'm getting off topic. Have a good night, and I'll see you soon.